YouTube, what's going on? It's your girl Diaz. I have a video that I wanted to talk about. If you look in my earlier YouTube videos that I made, I believe it was like the first one, maybe even the second one too. I think I did a couple of them. I had an incident with my TV and my cable service. I have FiOS. I had FiOS at that time also. So we were sitting there and we were watching something on TV. It was me and a family member and, a couple other people. But we were watching something on TV and all of a sudden, now if you know on your remote, you can search for stuff, right? You just type it in, you go to the letters and hit the letters. Well, you can't do a whole sentence at one time. Like you can't type, I want to watch this or, whatever. On those ones, if you hit search, it's like block letters and you have to go to each one of them and you have to search. So all of a sudden it just kind of went to the search box at the bottom and it started saying all these weird things about this Ouija board and that. And at that time, we had one. And it just said something about the Ouija board. And I said, what the heck? So I tried to go off of it. I hit exit. And not even like a minute later, it went back on there. And it said, like certain things that only we knew about. So I started, here's me. I started asking questions. Like I'm sitting there talking to my TV. And at that time, the Ouija board that we did have was not in the house. It was in a vehicle that we had. It was in a van. So I said, where is the Ouija board? And it waited and waited and waited. And then it typed, in the van. I'm like, okay, this is... At first I thought it was a joke, and I said, well, nobody can type a whole sentence at one time. Like, you have to type in letter by letter. It'll show you typing letter by letter. So I said, who are you? And it said, Daniel. I'm like, Daniel. I looked at the other people and I'm like, oh my God. And real quick, Daniel, one of my children had seen this little boy and this little girl and this older lady in one of my old houses that we were at. And he described in detail what this lady looked like. She had a little house on the prairie dress, a little boy and a little girl, Daniel, and I forget what they said that the girl's name was. But they described everything to the T. They had those, how the older people have the glasses with the little string, the little metal pieces connecting it so it doesn't fall. She had that. So we had it was a lot of presence in that house. So back to the TV, I just was asking it all kind of questions, and I said, well, this is Daniel, okay? Why are you here? And he said, come play. Just that, it just came up on the screen and said, come play. And I said, come play. I said, what do you mean? And he said, in the attic. And we didn't have a finished attic. It was just, you could go up there and walk around up there, but you have to be careful with the boards and that. But it wasn't finished. There was insulations tore out of there and everything like that. You couldn't breathe that good up there. And I'm like, who do you want to come play? And he said, the kids. I said, oh, hell no. My kids are not going up in no attic to play. I said, okay. I said, well, I'm going to come up. He said, no, the kids. I'm like, okay. If this is the spirit, for real, why are you doing this? Why are you here? I want to help you if there's something wrong. It's just all these questions. You have to go back and watch the video because it was really weird. But it was saying, help me. And then I started asking about my oldest son, which does music. And he said that he was going to reach fame. And that there was spirit. We used to set up dolls at our old house when my children were little. And they had the Barbie dolls and stuff. We used to set the Barbie dolls up in the middle of the night, stand them up, pose them so they didn't fall. And we would leave them up all night. Well, one of my children had did a video of one of the dolls, and it just kind of, it was sitting like this, and it went, like, it did that. It was real slow, and then it just fell. And I'm like, okay, like, there was no air. Like, we didn't have windows open or anything like that. Everybody was sleeping. It was probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. So everybody was asleep. And we all slept in one room that night, so we knew that somebody didn't, mess with it. We had the camera on us all night. Plus, we had one on the dolls. So it was just, that was the first house where my children had seen the lady and the two kids. The house that my TV messed up at was a different house that had my attic. And that's what they were saying about the Ouija board was in the van, which it was, and I tried to show another family member, and they're like, oh, that's a lie. You guys were probably typing it with your phones or stuff. And I said, no, in the video, like, we had our phones all on the table. Every one of us had our phones on the table. Both the remotes for the TV were sitting in front, and you'll be able to see them on the camera, on the video. But they were both sitting there. So I was talking to it, like, I was communicating, and I actually sent it into a paranormal place. And they had said that a lot of people that move on from this life tend to communicate through electronic devices. But they did say it was a good video. But they said if I wanted to do anything further, to get them to come out and, check the house or anything like that, that I could contact them. I never did, because we ended up moving, not right then and there, but it happened twice there with the TV. But nothing like, like it did the first time. But other than that, like, we've seen things. We took a picture the one day. We had a big mirror in our upstairs bathroom, and we took a picture, and next to one of my family members, it looked like the little girl Samara from The Ring with the long dark hair. It looked like she was standing next to my family member. So that was the first house too, with the two little kids and the lady. So that house and the other house that we lived at with the attic that experienced the stuff with TV, them two houses had really bad vibes to them. The other house that we lived at, it wasn't, we've heard things, but it wasn't bad. Like, we never experienced anything that harsh, like anything that, would cause any kind of concern for us. And the house that we're in currently, it's nothing. Like, it feels like all of that's gone. Now, they always say a house is haunted, it's not the house that's haunted, it's the people. You bring these, whatever you want to call them, spirits, entities, whatever, you bring them with you. They're attached to you. Subliminally, if you ever seen the movie Shutter, the girl was attached to him the whole time, and he kept having back pains and stuff like that, and she was actually, it was like a piggyback ride. She was actually attached to him the whole time, but it wasn't like a heavy weight. It was just kind of like you could feel the pain in your back, like you're having back problems, but meanwhile it was this entity, this spirit that was attached to him. So that is my video on the Ouija board and my TV. If you would like, you can scroll down to my oldest videos. I believe this is the first two that I actually showed the TV doing it, and me talking to it and everything like that. And, let me know what you think, but definitely go check out them two videos, because I like to get y'all opinion on, what you guys think what it could be. But until then, please like all my videos, comment on this one and on the other ones, subscribe to my channel if you're not already subscribed, hit the bell for notifications. Until next time, peace.